Why is the absence of extraterrestrial life in the universe the most terrifying prospect? Just as the ocean can contain countless fish, it could also contain none at all. But it is impossible for there to be only one. If there were only one fish, it would mean it is living in a fishbowl. And what humanity fears most right now is not a sudden alien invasion, but the possibility that in the entire universe, we are truly alone. Because this would imply that life might not be a natural result of cosmic evolution at all, but rather an incredibly improbable accident. Yet the problem is, based on the astronomical data currently available to us, the universe is far from an empty room. Quite the contrary, it is absurdly vast. Our Milky Way galaxy alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, and the number of galaxies in the observable universe may exceed 2 trillion. In other words, the number of stars in the observable universe is greater than all the grains of sand on Earth. With such a massive base, it is almost impossible for life to have emerged only once. In fact, scientists have already discovered that many stars possess their own planetary systems, and many of these planets are located in the habitable zone, where there is liquid water, stable temperatures, and the conditions necessary for complex chemical reactions. This means Earth is not special in the universe, nor is the solar system particularly unique. What is truly special might simply be that we have yet to meet anyone else. Thus, a question that makes countless scientists shudder has emerged. If civilizations could arise everywhere in the universe, then where is everyone? This question has a famous name, known as the Fermi Paradox, and the answer to it might be even more despairing than an alien invasion, because the true horror of the universe is not that aliens might come, but that civilizations may never be able to see one another. The reason is simple. The speed of light is too slow. You heard that right. The speed of light is the fastest speed known to humanity, yet on the scale of the universe, it is as slow as a snail. Light can circle the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second, which feels fast to you, but it takes over 8 minutes for light to travel from the Sun to Earth, and 100 Sirand years to cross from one side of the Milky Way to the other. And the Milky Way is merely a speck of dust in the universe. Now imagine, if an alien civilization were 5,000 light years away, the Earth they see at this moment would still be stuck around 3000 BC. Back then, humanity had just entered the Bronze Age and could hardly be considered a civilization. And what we see of them now is also how they appeared 5,000 years ago. Civilizations are like ghosts trapped in different layers of time, forever missing each other. Even if both exist simultaneously, they cannot communicate in real time. Even more cruel is the fact that civilizations themselves may be very short-lived. Humanity has only been in the radio age for about 100 years, and 100 years is not even a blink of an eye in the universe. Assuming a civilization exists for an average of 10,000 years, 2 civilizations would have to appear within the same time window and be close enough in distance to have any chance of discovering each other. And this probability is terrifyingly low in the universe. Perhaps countless civilizations have existed in the Milky Way, but their times of birth and extinction were completely out of sync. When you appear, they have already gone extinct, and by the time you go extinct, another civilization has just learned to look up at the stars. Thus, the entire universe appears deathly silent. There is another even more suffocating possibility, which is that civilizations simply cannot leave their own star systems. Many people assume that if technology is advanced enough, interstellar travel will be possible. But the reality may be the exact opposite, as the scale of the universe is simply too vast. Vast enough to make any civilization feel hopeless. Even at the speed of light, it would take 100,000 years to cross the Milky Way. And according to relativity, no object with mass can ever truly reach the speed of light. This means that no matter how advanced a civilization becomes, it will likely remain trapped on its own island of gravity. They may know that others could exist in the universe, but they will never be able to reach them. The entire universe is like an ocean of isolated islands separated by darkness. Every star is an inescapable prison, But what if a super civilization capable of crossing galaxies actually exists? The answer might be even more disheartening, because any civilization truly capable of reaching Earth would likely be so advanced that we could not even comprehend them. Just imagine, if a civilization were 1,000,000 years ahead of humanity, how vast would that gap be? 1,000,000 years ago, human ancestors had not yet learned to use fire, yet today, humanity can land on the moon, harness nuclear energy, and create artificial intelligence. If we give a civilization another 1,000,000 years, they might no longer rely on physical bodies, no longer need planets, and perhaps no longer even require the concept of resources. They might have digitized their consciousness, living in virtual worlds powered by stellar energy. To such a civilization, humanity would be like a colony of ants. Would you stop to observe the life of ants? No, you wouldn't even be aware of their existence. Many people assume that aliens would inevitably invade Earth. But think about it. Would humans wage war to seize the dirt of an anthill? A truly advanced civilization might not even bother to plunder the resources of a primitive one, because once technology reaches a certain level, resources are no longer scarce. Stars themselves are inexhaustible sources of energy, and entire planets can be reshaped at will. A small rocky planet like Earth might be completely worthless to them. Even contact would be meaningless, because the gap is simply too vast. Just as humans would not attempt to establish diplomatic relations with bacteria. What is even more terrifying is that perhaps they discovered us long ago, but we are simply unable to perceive them. Have you ever considered why a truly advanced civilization would necessarily need to land a spaceship on Earth? That is merely a fantasy from science fiction movies. A truly advanced civilization might not even require physical spacecraft. They may have already mastered forms of observation beyond our understanding, perhaps even observing the universe from a higher dimension. And humanity, like creatures in a two-dimensional world, would never realize there is a world above us. So the question arises, why is the universe so quiet? The answer may not be mysterious at all. It is because the distances between civilizations are torn apart by time, the speed of light, and the laws of physics. Those primitive civilizations are trapped in their own star systems, while those truly capable of crossing the star seas have long since lost interest in Earth. Thus, the universe has settled into an eerie silence. No war, no invasion, no response. There are only countless civilizations, each gazing into the stars from their own darkness. Humanity always thinks it is special, but on the scale of the universe, we may just be a fleeting spark on a planet at the edge of the galaxy. The universe will not change its trajectory because of humanity, just as the ocean does not stop its churning for a single drop of water. But precisely because of this, humanity appears so incredible. In this darkness that has been silent for 13.8 billion years, at least one civilization is trying to understand the universe, trying to find other life, trying to send its own voice into the boundless star sea. Perhaps there will never be a response. Perhaps our signals will only just be leaving a corner of the galaxy in tens of thousands of years. But at least, we once earnestly asked the question, in this universe, are we truly alone? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. See you in the next exploration with Quantara Atlas.